Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Wellness Bridge, broadcasting from our beautiful Gold Coast here in Queensland. I'm Gary, and today we are bridging the gap between the precision of Western clinical science and the profound flow of Eastern energy. I have a very special guest with me, someone who spent her life teaching others and then had to learn a very different lesson about her own body, Susan, an 85-year-old retired teacher. It's an honor to have you here, Susan.
Hello, Gary. It's wonderful to be back in your company. I remember limping, into your clinic 3 years ago, feeling like my knees were just a pair of old rusty hinges.
You aren't alone there, Susan. Many people view knee aging as a one-way street toward disability. But as we'll explore today, the brain and body have a remarkable capacity for renewal. We are going to look at the clinical reality of osteoarthritis, the latest physiotherapy protocols, and how practices like Tai Chi and Qigong are actually backed by some of the most rigorous neuroscientific evidence we have today. Let's start with the basics. What is happening when we talk about knee aging or osteoarthritis? Clinically, OA is a process involving the thinning of hyaline cartilage, which acts as our joint's cushion. As this wears down, the joint space narrows, and the body often forms osteophytes or bone spurs as a maladaptive attempt to stabilize the joint.
I remember seeing my x-rays and hearing the term bone on bone. It felt like a death sentence for my active life.
That's a common fear, but the science tells us that radiographic evidence, what we see on the scan, doesn't always match the pain a person feels. Factors like prior injuries, even from decades ago, body mass index, and even gender play a role, as women are statistically more likely to develop symptomatic OA. Susan, you had what we call mechanical pain, which was aggravated by activity but could be relieved with the right loading strategies.
I used to think I just had to protect my knees by moving less.
Actually, that's one of the biggest myths we have to bust. OA is a disease of the whole joint, including the ligaments and muscles, and movement is the primary nutrient for cartilage health. When you first came to GC Integrative, we focus on the Western Bridge, standard physiotherapy protocols that are recognized globally as first-line treatment. Our primary goal was strengthening your quadriceps, because those muscles act as the primary shock absorber for the knee, reducing the force transmitted through the joint.
I remember those sessions. I was worried the exercises would hurt, but you introduced something called blood flow restriction training.
Exactly. BFR is a game changer for someone at 85. It allows us to achieve significant muscle growth using very low loads, about 20 to 40% of your maximum, which protects the arthritic joint while building the strength you need. We also use manual therapy, hands-on mobilization, to restore the flexibility that pain has stolen from you.
It was the first time in years I felt like I could actually stand up from a chair without that deep ache.
That's because we were improving your biomechanical stabilization, teaching your hip abductors and core muscles to control the alignment of your femur and pelvis, which reduces shear forces on the knee. But Susan, we didn't stop at the gym equipment. We crossed the bridge into Eastern energy.
That was the turning point. Tai Chi felt less like a workout and more like a conversation with my body.
The science behind this is now undeniable. In 2019, the American College of Rheumatology gave Tai Chi a strong recommendation, the highest level, for managing knee OA. We specifically used the Sun style developed by Dr. Paul Lam because it uses a higher stance and follow steps that protect the knees of older adults.
I felt more stable almost immediately. Why does it work so much better than just walking?
It's about proprioception, your body's sense of where it is in space. Tai Chi requires complex motor sequence planning and mind body coordination, which improves joint position sense significantly more than traditional exercise. Research shows Tai Chi practitioners have better rotational stability and lower knee extension moments during walking.
It's a very mindful way to move.
It is moving meditation. Qigong specifically forms like Baduanjin, stretches the myofascial chains and regulates the qi, which we clinically see as the regulation of the autonomic nervous system. Now, Susan, here is the most exciting part. What was happening in your head while you were moving your feet? Chronic knee pain actually changes the structure of your brain. It's called maladaptive neuroplasticity. Your brain rewires itself to become more sensitive to pain signals, often involving areas like the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex.
So my brain was actually keeping the pain alive.
In a way, yes, but Tai Chi drives positive neuroplasticity. It has been shown to increase gray matter volume in the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex, areas responsible for memory and executive control. We call it vascular rejuvenation for the brain.
I do feel sharper, Gary. I'm 85 and I feel like I'm still learning.
You are. Practicing Tai Chi upregulates BDNF, brain derived neurotrophic factor, which is essentially miracle growth for your neurons. It shifts your immune balance toward an anti inflammatory state and improves mitochondrial energy metabolism, meaning your nerve cells have more fuel to repair themselves. Susan, seeing you walk along the beach today, it's hard to believe you ever had a limp.
It's a journey, Gary. If an old teacher can learn to flow again, anyone can.
Beautifully said. To our listeners, if you are suffering from knee OA or chronic knee pain, or if you're interested in learning about our physio design Qigong programs that bridge this gap between science and energy, please leave your comment below. We are here to help you find your own bridge to wellness. Susan, thank you for sharing your light with us.
Thank you, Gary.
Remember, together, we find balance in one.